All right, so our here's our problem, and we have to do a dog walking problem, and they charge $5 an hour. And people come in all day, and they want to be able to find out how much they need to charge the owner, but they also want to know how many clients they've seen during the day, and how much money they have collected all day. So, how are we gonna break this down into a problem statement? Well, they said they want to see three things, right? They want to be able to find out how much to charge the owner, and at the end of the day, they want to know how many clients, and how much was done. So, very simply, we'll call this one owner charge, and then the next one is going to be um, num clients, and then how much money was collected was we'll call that fee accum. All right, so why would I call this? Actually, number of clients is not right. Fee accum is because we're going to be accumulating the fees all day, so I want to call that accum later on. Num clients is good if we were going to ask how many clients are there and they tell us. But since we're going to be counting clients instead of num clients, I'm going to say client count, because I'll be counting the clients. All right, and this is going to be a counter, and that's going to be an accumulator, and that is simply going to be a calculation. All right, so now we move up. How are we going to get these three things? And so we're going to copy this. I'm going to paste it up here. Okay, the owner charge is going to be equal to num dogs times num hours times the fee. All right, and then the customer count, since we're going to be doing this in a loop, is going to be, well, the client count. Client count is going to be equal to whatever the client count is right now. And when it first starts out, it'll be 0, then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1. And then the last calculation that we have to do is the fee accum. And that's really the owner charge accum. So I'm going to say, well, the fee is accum is equal to whatever the fee is right now. And it starts at 0. And when I add the owner charge. All right, well, and that's all the math we have to do. So now we move up. Well, we actually move up. So where am I going to get the fee accum from? That's from here. Where am I going to get the owner charge from? From here. Client count, we're going to get that from here. And of course, one is constant. Then we have where am I going to get the number of dogs from? Where am I going to get the number of hours from? And where am I going to get the fee from? Well, someone's going to have to tell me how many dogs. Someone's going to have to tell me how many hours. And the fee is $5. But that's constant. So I'm going to start. I'm going to copy number of dogs and paste it here. And then I'm going to copy number of hours, paste it here as my two inputs. And then my fee, since it's going to be a constant $5, is going to be part of my assumptions. So fee equals 5. And then I can round out my assumptions by saying all dogs charged same fee. All dogs walked same hours, and one customer fee calculated at a time. Okay, so there is our assumptions. There's our input. And one thing we can do, we can add one more input, and if you don't do it, I wouldn't count off on it. But we're going to have customers coming all day. We're going to have to ask them if there's another customer in order for us to go around the loop. So I'm going to say another customer. Yes. No. Okay. So that is how we create a problem statement from the paragraph. Now we're ready to go ahead and change this into a human algorithm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything from my constant down. I'm going to make some space. I'm going to paste it in. And this is going to, I'm going to no longer number these things, because it just gets in our way. Alright, so the input for the number of dogs, I'm going to input the number of hours, input of another customer, and then I'm going to be doing some calculations. And these are the calculations. And then I'm going to be doing some output. And more output. Okay, so the only thing I have to do now is get rid of the spaces. And the reason why we're getting rid of the spaces is we're going to be copying and pasting all this, into our flow chart. So when I named these things, starting my problem statement, I used the camel notation. And now when I get rid of these spaces, I'm ready to copy and paste them into my flow chart. Cool. And we're done. Alright, so that's it. We just did problem statement, human algorithm, ready on a flow chart.